A raven has come from King's Landing. There is to be a tournament. I will be sending Nadia alone. Well, without her brother. So I wanted to speak to you. You have been there before. You know the politics of that place. You know it's a snake's nest. I want you to go with her, and I want you to make sure that she's safe and that the politics of that place doesn't swallow her up.
Anomander seems to consider for a moment, and then he nods slowly and says, Of course. The place is certainly very dangerous. I haven't been there for years now, but certainly I shall do my best. Some of my old contacts most likely still reside in King's Landing. As you wish, I will do my best then.
You'll be leaving tomorrow. It's in 2 weeks hence. We have apparently gotten this message very late, it seems. Perhaps we are not a big priority anymore. I haven't really participated for long. I'd like to see that changed.
That is rather soon, yes. He seems to think the road to King's Landing, it should be safe enough. He sort of seems to think back on the latest reports or whatever he has read about bandit activity.
There's always trouble on the road. But for most people who are armed or wear armor visibly, they're not bothered.
Yes, it should be doable if we travel tomorrow. That there will not be a large escort then, I imagine.
No, there will not. You will travel light. Try not to gather too much attention to yourself. That is never good. There are many who do not like to be shown up, as it is.
My lord, if I then might make a slight suggestion, if we could bring some of the best soldiers of the house, is probably the best idea. I have a mind of the young Sir Dradain. He is quite skilled in military matters. I have seen him train. Having him along would be a great asset to us all, I should think.
These are not. The smith has said the same. I've considered it. He does seem to show an unusual prowess. The best of the guard, it said.
Yes, as far as I am aware, I have not seen his like myself since I was in Bravos, watching the water dances.
Very well. If sort of fish around something, I've been looking for confirmation of this. I would not want to bring shame upon our house, but if you think he can truly honor us, then perhaps this. He sort of takes a little sort of letter out. It is sealed with his with the house's seal. As this will allow him to enter the tournament as a champion of our house, if he so wishes.
Anomander nods and says, "My lord, I think that would be quite the idea. If he is as skilled as I have seen, and if he can keep his head cool under competition, I think he could go very far in this tournament. The acclaim the house could gain would be very useful.
Just try not to too much attention from a lowborn could be." Could make others rear their heads. Not all competitors are as just as we might be.
He bows slightly. I shall keep it in mind, my lord.
Sorry. You can go and inform me of the news then.
He nods. As you say. And then he will turn around and tap his way out.
He'll turn and wait for Nadia and Arwin, expecting them to come together.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll probably like pass. We'll probably pass the spymaster as we go.
Yeah, he will nod towards you as he walks his way past.
Nadia will nod, uncle.
Lady Nadia. And then he will hurry out as fast as he can, which is not very fast.
I just picture him as like house.
kind of
If
imagine
motorcycles
us
were a
just-
thing, he would have a
Yeah,
motorcycle.
basically he walks like house.
Yeah.
It's like,
kind of imagine the kids, Arwin, Harkis, and Nadia have been teasing him about it.
I don't think
Probably
Harkus
cake
has.
Yeah.
he can never
Harkus
catch them, of course. He just waves his cane.
Yeah, Harkus hasn't
I'm
said
dead.
anything.
Actually, it's true that while these guys are in armor, they can't catch you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I kind of imagine that when we were kids, the bravery test would be to steal your cane.
Run up and grab his
That
cane.
would certainly be a thing, yes.
And then you got like 3 days with the scepter all screaming at you.
Yeah.
Locked in the scepter to pray and learn that the mother frowns upon these acts.
Respect your elders.
Why am I sure this is something that's happened multiple times?
Oh.
Well, we didn't wear armor back then.
So how does Nadia enter the hall of her home called by her father?
Proud. She has her. She doesn't wear her armor, but she wears the typical noble clothes, but male noble clothes. And she has her Valerian steel sword by her side, having her fingertips at the tip of the sword.
Would have Nadia informed me about
The pommel.
The pummel.
How does Arwin and Nadia usually sort of interact?
I can imagine that Nadia always put a gloved hand on his head.
Very condescending.
Well, we played with each other, but
That is true.
but she's still taller than you still.
Yes,
and she
you're older than me.
older, yeah. But I have a feeling that they did do a lot of fun stuff together.
Probably. I imagine it's very much like a sibling relationship almost.
Yeah. Also, Nadia wanted to learn to fight, so I could imagine she's been spending a lot of time with the boys instead of the girls, just leaving the needlework.
Arwin will be, Arwin will be, moving very, he tends to move quite gracefully, but is moving, behind Nadia whenever she goes. Almost using Nadia to protect himself at times.
Turns and looks. He's never been mean to Arwin, but he's never been a father figure either. He's not using him as his own. And Arwin knows that he's, of course, a guest in the house. Very much so. Turns to look at Nadia and says, "Look at you." Says, "I have decided who to send with you." Behind says, "And young Maltren. How fare you?"
I fare well, my lord. Thank you.
Good. You will accompany Nadia to a tournament in King's Landing, and you will act as her squire.
Nadia smiles at Arwen and really excited.
Arwin seems to nod, and Nadia can feel he's a little bit excited for this.
Try to learn what you can in the city, but both of you, try to stay out of trouble. I'm sending Anomander with you.
Looks up to Nadia.
Nadia smiles.
You may be the lady of this, you may be the heir of this house, but I do not want you to make trouble. King's Landing is a dangerous place. He has expertise there, has been there before, and you can trust him to at least aid you as much as possible. I'm also sending a Dradain, a man from a guard from the guard's house. He has shown himself to be excellent, and I'm sending him to champion in the tournament. I imagine you will too, Nadia, participate in your brother's stead.
Of course.
Good. Try to help each other as much as you can. It is a dangerous place, and I do not want you to get in more trouble than you can handle. He's very good with the sword and will protect you, I'm sure. Now go gather your things. You'll leave tomorrow morning.
Nadia nods and moves gracefully and noble to the door, and as soon as they get to the door, I bet she would start running.
So look at him and says, "And no making trouble."
Of course not, we will listen to Uncle and behave.
shakes his head.
Thank you, Lord Trevelyan.
Damn kids.
Then think go. Leaves to deal with other business.
There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff to get ready.
Go to King's Landing.
Whoa!
Innocent road trip.
Road trip!
What is Harkus doing, like, when Anomander shows up?
I don't know. Either on guard duty or training.
Probably guard duty near the smithy most of the time, having a good relationship to the smith.
Well,
Commended him.
you will hear the tap of the cane approaching.
At this, he'll straighten up a little bit more. The cousin of the lords here.
Clink of the smithy.
Yep. And Anomander will soon be coming around the corner. You know, he frowns, looks to the smith, sort of nods at Gregory Humblestone and the smith, and then looks at Harkus. He'll say, Sir Dradain, I would have a word with you.
Harkus nods and says, anything you wish, sir.
There has been a raven from King's Landing, and apparently King Robert Baratheon is inviting us all to a grand tournament in King's Landing 2 weeks hence. We are to leave on the morrow. He looks him up and down. It has been decided that there should be a very small contingent. Lady Nadia will be traveling, of course. She is, after all, very important to the house and not bad with the sword. I imagine that young Arwin Maltren will also join us on this trip, and myself, since I have been to King's Landing before. It is a dangerous place, and as such, I have also recommended that you come with us. I have seen your prowess with the blade, and I think your skills would be good to have on the journey ahead of us.
Harkus nods and bows slightly and says, it would be an honor, sir.
I have also, thanks to your stellar reputation for swords play here to keep, gotten this from his lordship. He will hold up the sealed letter, saying, "This will allow you to enter the tournament on House Trevelyan's behalf. You shall be one of our champions."
His eyes will widen and a smirk come across his face, and then he'll kind of realize what he's doing, and then go back to a serious tone and say, "Of course, it would be a great honor. I shall do my best to bring honor and fame to the house."
Yes, good. I need not point out and emphasize how important such a tournament could be for the house. We have been struggling to make a greater mark on the king's influence or his good graces. To show ourselves to be powerful and skilled would be very advantageous for us.
He nods and says, "From what I remember at a distance, King's Landing is quite the place. I worry for the lady's protection, and I'm sure we can travel the streets safely in armor."
He nods. Most importantly, and I think the main reason his lordship suggested you to be in this tournament, your main mission is to protect Lady Nadia. She is incredibly important to the house. Her having an accident at the tournament is completely unacceptable.
He nods.
I want you to keep a protective eye on her in the festivities.
He nods and says, "If the house commands it, I shall do it."
Good. Then pack your things, Sir Dradain. We are leaving on the morrow.
He nods. Says, I shall be up and early, sir. Wherever you wish me to be, I will be there."
Good. And Anomander will slowly make his way away to his room in the keep to pack up and prepare.
Harkers will stand still until you're out of sight, and then run into the blacksmith and be like, "Oh, I'm going in the tournament!" Like, fuck yeah!
Like fist bump with the smith.
Yeah.
Slam your heads together.
Pretty much. Yeah. Could pack our stuff.
Guess Nadia will get her hair cut like a girl.
Oh my god, I gotta get my hair cut and gotta get all my armor clean. Oh my god.
No, well, you also have to remember to call her my lord, and I didn't.
Milady.
No, lord. When we
No,
are
she's
Milord.
passing
Yeah,
off.
It's true.
It's passing off.
It's Milord to him. He doesn't say Aiden.
As I'm also going to refer to as Aiden Trevelyan instead of not.
yeah.
Yeah, Anomander will probably have informed you of this such too. That we need to keep the
Yeah.
pretenses up here.
Yeah.
Well, he's off packing.
Yeah. We're all off packing.
Back in.
You will also be given an extra horse that has saddlebags on it with carrying food and the like. Although most of what you'll be bringing will be, money for stays at taverns. There are taverns all along the King's Road.
Yeah.
Inns.
No camping out.
In the morning, Nadia will find her horse has already been prepped for her by Arwin, who's in the stables.
Aww.
Probably find Harkus outside of the stables on his mount already. Standing at attention with his horse. Ready. Waiting.
Nadia will smile. Oh, and Harkus, this is gonna be great. Going to King's Landing for tournaments.
Harkus smiles and says, "Of course, milady."
You have to practice on the Lord.
Milord. I'm sorry.
Blushes.
It's okay.
It'll take a little getting used to. It's nice.
He nods. A couple of weeks that it will take to get there. I'm sure I can get used to it in that time. He smiles.
Nadia smiles back.
It seems we are all ready. Looks up and down. Is my horse saddled? Sort of looks around.
It has been prepared.
Good.
By the stable boys. Two.
Yep. Anomander, slowly walks the horse, gets up with a bit of grimace, his old war wound or whatever it is. He puts his cane, on the saddle, like in front of him.
Like where
So he has like a
sword,
holster
basically.
for it, basically.
Yeah, it's like the sword holster. You've adapted it for the
For the cane.
for the cane. Yeah.
And then he swings up, looks around, and says, "Well, if everyone is ready, I suppose we should make haste."
And now I ask you then, how do you go dressed when you sort of travel?
Harkus is armored like every day. I don't think many people have seen him without armor.
Yeah.
In Arwin's case, he's got he's got a nice set of clothes good for traveling, and underneath he's got his padded armor.
Anomander is dressed in traveler's garb, with enforced with leather. He basically has his soft leather armor on.
You have a leather coat over the top.
But he has like a traveler's cloak and stuff to shield him from rain and wind and stuff.
Yeah,
Would be customary. Yeah.
we packed smart. We bought those in advance.
What would be proper for Nadia to wear?
Whatever she wants to wear.
Whatever she wants, she will wear.
She however, will own a surcoat, and it would be natural for Arwin to carry her banner.
Sure.
Riding slightly
One
behind.
banner.
One banner.
Can never touch the ground.
If that banner falls, boy, thou shalt fall.
And do not drop the banner.
No.
Whatever you do, kid,
Oh,
don't drop that banner.
It has a spike on the end, so you can set it down in the ground.
yeah, you like
Find it.
thrust it
She'll
into the
probably
ground.
wear her
Yeah.
armor. She'll be so proud to wear it.
And if you can't thrust it into the ground,
Very
give it
finely
to Harkus to
polished.
do it.
Wealthy-looking
Mhm.
armor. Yeah,
Mm.
it looks like a true lord's son.
Mm-hmm. Arwin
it's
can hold my shield.
Harkus just has some guardsman uniform, effectively.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I mean,
Pretty standard. armor.
standard guards don't really wear house colors as such often. His shield might have the house symbol on it,
Most probably.
and he has likely been for this purpose given like a brown surcoat with the house symbol on it,
Yeah,
but
he has a tabard.
signify that he's a representative.
It's a tabard over his armor, yeah. He did have that.
Yeah. As we set out, Anomander will start lecturing all involved, especially looking at Arwin. Now listen here, young Lord Maltren. There are a few things you need to learn about King's Landing.
I thought this trip means I get outclassed.
Now see here.
Haw's crow calls as the horses sort of tread out of the courtyard. The place in front of the keep.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, I
We
can't
wave goodbye to
Yeah.
Lord Lorwyn and Lady
He's
Sophia.
standing looking in the window while the lady is standing by the door.
She crying into a handkerchief.
Not quite.
I think they're very proud, actually.
Yeah.
Nadia is such a shining example.
Aiden looking out the window
Oh.
from his bedroom. The falling sort of fall leaves
Mhm.
falling to the ground. Slight sun. It's probably very early still. The horses begin to tread. The planned path will take you here, following the edge of the hills towards River Run, where you will then join up on the general road here, along the Red Fork, the River Road, and then south along the King's Road. These roads here are well patrolled and most likely, like you say, it is only in the north really where there's trouble on the King's Road.
Just basically along the river until we get to the roads that we're in trouble.
Along the Tumblestone,
Yeah.
which is a rather big river. Sometimes river boats sail it, but it goes into the hills, and so it is very sort of. There's many rocks and such in the ground. Only like flat boats can do it. Do the trip towards River Run. And generally, the road goes a distance from the river because there used to be river bandits in the olden time, and the road has not been moved closer since it really would have no purpose. It is fine where it is. Besides, the water is very murky with many minerals that stream out of the hills, and so it is not really good drinking water, although it does great things for fields. Along the river lie some of the most powerful houses in the current sort of political situation, who actually has farmland that are worth something. The houses, sort of Trevelyan's own farming land in the hills is not particularly valuable. The hills are not good for growing much. Some goats, some cattle, horses, that like are decent. And so you begin your travels. The road is empty. Slight bit of trees around. It is the forest that is actually here. Sort of as you move towards the river, closer than in the hills. The hills are very treeless, sort of only like lone pines here and there. But this is the forest where you go if you want to hunt in the area, as it is, well, one of the only ones in the actual Westerlands as you ride towards the Riverlands, where there are more. Very low-lying forests. The day goes by, and then sort of what do you? I mean, who do you sort of? Do you talk? What sort of? In what sort of group order do you ride when you ride sort of along the road? It is broad enough for all of you to ride side by side if you wanted to, but it would be awkward to keep.
I mean, Harkus remembers the way. It's only been a few years, so he'll take the lead.
I think we should have the banner first, right?
But if there's like a ambush, that could be bad.
Well, you can bring up the rear.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, good.
So banner. Nadia or Anomander. After that, probably Nadia.
Mm.
And then
Hark is at the rear. Yeah.
Then Hark is at the rear. That would be the general approach, I guess.
Two younger ones from talking
Yes.
amongst themselves.
Aw.
Now see here.
And if there is an ambush, then Hark.
We're not holding the formation like strict all the way, of course.
Oh,
but
no.
that's the general sort of approach we do.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Banner first, so everyone sees who's coming along here.
Mm.
And Anomander will be lecturing the younger ones about the dangers of King's Landing and saying that there shouldn't be any tomfoolery.
You do know that there's not going to be a tavern for the first night, which will have to be under the stars, which is why you got a pact basically. There's not enough direct travel here to really support a tavern at this point.
Yeah.
Traders usually just have tents and then sleep in the edge of the forest where there's some sort of cover from the strong winds that move down from the hills and mountains. Yeah. And as you sort of move, probably tired at this point from having ridden all day, going into the night, you see that there's many sort of flocks of crows flying above, and a slight whiff of carrion is carried along the winds towards you from further ahead.
Harkus will look to Nadia and spymaster. I can't remember his name again. Oh my god.
Anomander.
Yeah, Anomander, and say, smells like there's death ahead. I worry what's ahead.
Anomander sniffs for a second, sort of breathing in the carrion, and then slowly nods. Yes, something has died up ahead. Yeah. We should probably take a look, just to be sure.
Arcus nods and trots up to the front. And slowly walks his horse round, taking in the sights around him.
Mm-hmm. As you move your horse further, you can see that that there is what seems to be an arm laying at the side of the road further up, with a blood trail leading slightly into the forest, where you can see a clearing, most likely a merchant campsite, where there's a lot of the birds sort of cawing loudly.
Oh.
Would not be too far to investigate.
Harkus will go back and say, there appears to be a severed limb, as well as a blood trail leading to a clearing. I suspect possibly bandits.
Anomander frowns deeply, and then says, "That is very unfortunate. Nevertheless, if there is banditry around," he sort of looks around. Have we seen anything like during the day, like any
Not
riders
really.
or
It's
anything?
been a nice, quiet time. You haven't met anyone else
Mhm.
moving here.
They have most likely not passed us. During the day, we would have noticed a large band of riders. Sort of looks around. They might still be in the camp or close by. Yes, we perhaps should investigate, but we should do so carefully.
Harkus nods and says, sadly I'm not all great at sneaking up on people. He kind of clanks his armor. Says, this bulk and armor doesn't help me much.
Anomander sort of snorts and then sort of looks to Maltren, who he thinks is kind of sneaky.
Me?
Aren't you? Aren't you a ranger
really.
stealth scout dude?
Not really.
Oh,
As a child.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I'm the average. So
Average sneaky.
You know, it's not something I've trained for.
Okay, you can copy your tokens, by the way.
All right.
And,
Like, why would I need to try and be sneaky?
Copied.
Well, Anomander says, "Well, weapons at the ready, people. We need to take a look."
Harkus drops off his horse, takes his shield, and unsheathes his sword.
the horses seem uneasy with moving further into the forest, bro. They don't seem to like the smell.
You could probably tie them up here.
Yeah, we'll leave the horses with time to.
I paid a lot of money for that horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we paid a lot of money for our horses.
I didn't pay that much money for my horse.
Yeah, but me and Tine high quality horses.
Yeah.
As you walk to the south of this place, it will be